Hello everybody, thank you for stopping by. I am going to make some journaling cards, maybe a couple belly bands, some tags. I've already made some masterboards out of book pages. So I just took some book pages and I tore them. I inked around the edges and then I adhered them to paper. I'm sure we all know how to do masterboards. This one is going to be, I'll show you, this one's going to be a journal insert. So it's going to be like a page in a journal. So let me show you how to do this. First of all, I am going to put some stamped images on these. So I have some ink here, Distress Ink Forest Moss. And then I do have some stamps here. So I'm just gonna randomly stamp. Here we go. And I'm going to use some paper behind this so I can do some off stamping too. Oops. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, so I know there's lots of challenges and collabs and all that go on in the YouTube world of crafting. But my challenge for the month of June is to simply to step out of my box of pockets. I make lots of pockets. I do use lots of pockets in my journals, but I think I make too many. So I'm trying to challenge myself. Okay, so here's a butterfly I'm going to use next. And then this color is Ranger Archival, what is it? Cobalt blue. So anyways, so I am trying to challenge myself to not make so many pockets. And so far, you know, I've looked through videos and I've got a list of things that I want to make that don't have pockets. So so in the month of June, we're in June already, right? So in the month of June, I want to try and do one pocket video, sorry for my voice, per every third of different kind of a video. So we'll see how that works. Of course, we're only in the 5th day of June. And yeah, so we'll see. We'll see. Oh, I don't know where to put this. Let's put it right about here, I guess. Maybe. Okay, so there's that one. Okay, so I've used that and that. Okay, so I have another butterfly. I'm going to use, the rest of these are going to be black. Okay, so I have another butterfly and then I have, so basically I'm just randomly, as you can tell, I'm just randomly stamping different things onto my page. And again, I just used book pages and I tore them and I made a masterboard. Okay. All right. There we go. Maybe a couple more. Okay. Let's do one right here. Okay, now I just have a flower for this one. Let's do, I want some more green. Okay, so I'm gonna put some green on here. Okay. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time lately with my light. There we go. Maybe like, nope, like that. Okay, so here we go. Where can I put this flower? I don't want to have my page be too, have too much going on, but we'll see. All right, so yeah, I'm just basically randomly stamping flowers, butterflies, a number. Okay, let's do this. Okay, perfect. Okay, so that's the first one I did. I am going to do this one real quick. And like I said, this one's just basically going to be a journal. What are those called? Inserts. That's going to be one of my journal, for in my journal. You know, you put your pages in there. I don't remember what it's called. Why am I drawing such a horrible blank right now? Okay, so I'm going to go through here. Let's do some numbers. I think I'm running out of, I think I need to refill my green is what I think. Okay. Okay, so I think you're getting, obviously, easy peasy. Okay. Yeah, that blue is obviously taking over. It's so much darker than that green, isn't it? Okay. Let's do this flower in some black. So anyways, I am trying to challenge myself not to make so many pockets. What do you make the most of in your journals? What do you, what's your go-to as far as, is it ephemera? Or what kind of ephemera is it? Yeah, like I said, mine is definitely pockets. I love making pockets. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this number and then call this good. Okay, so basically this will be when I make my journal, this will be where I put, where I put my pages. So I'll fold it like this. I'll fold it in half like this. Okay, and then I'll put my pages in there. Put my pages right there. Okay, so let me just set these things aside a little bit. Okay, so I love book pages. I love doing, obviously, pockets. I love doing, I just like the look of book pages. And then, of course, I'd ink up around those edges. So what I'm going to do with this piece is I'm going to make some journaling cards. So let's go, let's say about a little over 3 inches. Okay, because we'll make it to fit inside pockets. We'll do journaling cards. Let's do journaling cards and tags. Let's do 2-inch, maybe 2.5-inch tags. Okay, so tags, journaling cards, and then I want a belly band. Okay, and then I have a piece here that I'll do who knows what with. Okay, so obviously we all know how to make a belly band. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this down to about, well, let's just say I put this into my journal, into this journal. So my pages on the inside will be a little bit shorter than this. So let's just say this page will be about 6¼ inches. Okay, so I'm gonna cut that, and then obviously, you know, you can decorate this up even more, and then you would glue this here and here and put it on your page. Okay, so that's gonna go with this project. Okay, so this is gonna be a tag. So let's go ahead and cut this approximately, let's say 4.5 inches. Okay, and then I'm gonna cut off these little corners right here. Go like that, turn that over, go like this. I'm gonna cut off that side. All right, I could make another one. So we can cut this off right here and cut this little corner. And of course, there's a lot more things you can use. Use up these masterboards with. Okay, so there's that. And then I'm just gonna put, you know, a little tab up here, a little pull tab. Okay, so we'll put some glue right there. Well, let me see if I can get my glue to work. All right, I don't need my cutting board anymore, so let me just kind of set that aside. All right, let me see if I can get this glue to work a little bit. Okay, so I think you get the gist of it. Even though my glue is not working very good. It's not working at all, actually. Okay, but we'll put that on there and that on there. And voila, there's that one. Okay, let me see what's going on with my glue. Why is it so stuck? All right. Okay, so obviously, let's put another one on here. I'm just using some ribbon. Of course, you could use, you know, put a hole, punch a hole in the top and do, you could staple the top. Okay, so there's 2 tags. Okay, and then this one, I was gonna do a couple journaling cards. So let's see here. Let's just cut that right about there. Okay, so there's a journaling card. We could put the tab at the top. We could put the tab at the bottom. I mean, not at the bottom, on the side. You could staple the tab on. So I'm just gonna put one there. And of course the back is my coffee dyed paper. So, you know, you'd put this into a pocket and then, you know, you can pull it out from the tab, and then the back side you'd have space to write on. Okay, and then we'll make one more. All right, I'm just kind of, you know, and then these little offcuts, here's another, you could do a smaller tag. You could do another journaling card. You know, there's really no Obviously, we already know there's no right or wrong way to do things in the junk journal world. Okay, so this one, I put the tab at the top. So this one, I'll put the tab on the side. Okay. And again, the back part you journal on. Okay, so easy peasy with that. Okay, so there's lots of different things you can, like I said, do with your master boards. Again, this could be, you know, another little journaling spot. Ink up around your edges if you want to. And then, you know, put these into your pockets, or just, you know, these you could make as a pocket. So you would just glue on 3 sides. You'd put this on your page and glue on 3 sides. And then you'd have another pocket. Okay, this can be, you know, just a tag that goes up at the top. Okay, I think you get the idea of what I'm talking about and what I'm doing. So I'm just cutting apart a masterboard that I made. I made it with, I used book pages and I tore the book pages. So, you know, that could be a small little tag right there. Okay. Okay. So I'm sure you get the idea of what I'm doing and what I'm talking about. So here's this one. Okay. And then a belly band. I made a belly band. Obviously you can decorate this up even more, and some lace, you know, to the middle part of it. And then you have another, you know, space where you can add, you know, some more tuck-ins. So yeah, let your imagination flow. That's what this crafting world is all about. Alrighty, so until next time, I appreciate you stopping by, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you.